HP Ranina joins us now, lawyer with Supreme Court. Mr. Ranina, we are talking about a case in a foreign land, United States, which has a very different kind of a court structure. Can you first identify the meaning of this? Can you then identify and tell us that in this case, if the Adani Group has to move to a higher court, what could be the process? How long could it take? And when will the final verdict come out? If this court moves, which it has to move now as per the United States laws?
Yeah, it can move, but how long it will take is very difficult to say. It will go to the federal court from the district court, and that will depend on the backlog in that court. So it's very difficult to say. Different states of America, there are different courts which have different backlogs. So this I don't know whether it is a New York District Court or which court it is. But if it's in a New York District Court, then to go to the federal court will of course they can do it, but it will take at least 6 months.
Now, the panic in the market is with the assumption that there is a charge against Adani Group of companies for a case of bribery. As a lawyer, what is the right way of interpreting the information which is available?
Well, it's a bribery case. Obviously, it's a very serious matter because it involves criminal charges. And in criminal court, things take a different view and they take a very strict view. So it's all a question of fact. If Adanis can prove that these charges are false or that they are not correct, if they can bring some evidence, that's a different matter. But having already been indicted, there seems to be a very difficult situation because this is a criminal charge and that's based on facts, not really much of law. It's a question of bribery. It's a question of what is the amount of bribery, whom it was paid. Once that is established, then the court will just pass the order.
From district court to federal court, if this case has to move, are we looking at months, weeks, or years?
Well, no, not years. Definitely not years. It is a matter of weeks if it can be pushed through, saying that these are serious charges, and there is enough evidence to show that this was not correct, was the conviction, indictment is not based on the factual situation, then it will be heard very soon. In federal court, you can ask for special hearing, which can happen pretty fast. Okay, so it can happen within a few weeks, I would say.
Okay, few weeks is what we'll have to wait by for. Hold that thought, Mr. Ranina. We also have Sandeep Sabharwal joining us to discuss that. Sandeep, what should the investors in Adani Group of stocks do at the moment?
That's a very, very good question. Actually, no idea because I don't buy the group or recommend stock of the group because of the sheer volatility involved and the fact that I don't see cash flows and they are largely in an investment cycle at this stage. So very tough to say what should be done because it's not a non-serious matter. So I think people need to take a call upon it.
Okay. Sandeep, but the entire news development seems to be having an impact on the market sentiment per se. And a similar thing happened, let's say, a couple of years ago when the entire Heidelberg saga broke out. It impacted banks, it impacted the market sentiment, it broke the rhythm of the market. So in terms of an impact, do you see this really could have an impact on lenders and then especially for lenders which have exposure to Adani Group?
Yeah, so that's a reasonable assumption that there could be some impact on the lenders if things become more serious and this impacts the investment cycle and operations of the entire group as such. Because the entire group has been on a huge investment spree. They have also been acquiring companies, doing open offers, etc. I think once such issues come up and stocks which were at 52-week highs 5 months back are at 52-week lows. So how do they raise equity, and overseas fundraising could become an issue in the near term. So I think to that extent, there would be an impact. Good part, I would say, from the perspective of Indian investors who invest in mutual funds or PMSs, etc. is that the exposure of the group in many of the funds is very, very limited. And to that extent, there is an indirect impact, but the direct impact is low. And if you look at the overall large cap universe, the last 3 years CAGR has now fallen to 10%. This year, the Nifty is up just around 7%. So I think there's value in the large cap side and select mid caps. And that's how we have to look at it.
Okay, let's take a break. And we've got 45 minutes of trade left. When we come back, we'll talk about the value in large cap and select value in mid and small cap stocks. Where is value in this market? More on that when we come back. If I have to look at the market mood right now, we've not fallen off the cliff. We've managed to bounce back 45 minutes. Are we in for a good smart close? Let's see. But for the moment, it appears that markets surely have stopped falling.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.